Hello, welcome back. This is Grillenheimer. Always press for time. Now, this is the Transformer, the TCG cards. Like I said, I've been busy. I've been collaborating with someone right now, making not new characters. They're old G1 characters, but just making different ones. I'm not sure where the art's coming from, but that's going to be interesting because one of my favorite characters of all time is Ironhide, and I do want to make a nice, decent Ironhide, better than the three that we got. Captain Ironhide is okay. The Ironhide for the Optimus Maximus is kind of weak, and then we have the one that's just vanilla that came with the starter pack, and you can put them all together, and it almost seems like no matter how you build your deck, they're just not very strong. So there is that. But let's keep going. I'm talking about some new battle cards here, and the first two I'm going to go over are a couple I've actually created, and then the last half are a friend and I create. Well, they're really his. They're really his ideas. I just got into the system for him and made cards out of them with the pictures he gave. So, and those are a little more centered around Metroplex. So let's get on with it. The first one, I don't have a Blitzwing, so I'm going to make my own Blitzwing, and I have an idea for a stratagem for him. In watching this old episode Triple Takeover, I took a few notes, and so we now have two new battle cards. The first one is called Zone Defense. And originally I had a picture of the actual maze the Constructicons built for the Triple Changers. But instead I thought, well, then they did a close-up and the Autobots were zipping around, not knowing where they were going. And, gosh, they're awfully close. And I made this an action card. So it's an action card with two blue pips, except the blue pips, one is for planes, the other one is for trains. You see where I'm going here. So you might be able to have Astro Train and Blitzwing, the SRT, being played at the same time, and maybe no room for any other stars. Don't quote me on that. I'm not looking at their star count right now, but I think one is 12. If one is 12, one is 13, then boom, you're full at 25. But so that's with them in mind. But you can put them with other planes. Do we have any other trains? Not yet. I know some people are wanting to make the rail car combiner. I forgot what they're called, and I do have the toy. I had 2 sets of them. I sold one on eBay last year. So Zone Defense is based off that episode. It is a rare. I made it a rare card because it is a little strong, even though it's only going to help planes and trains, which we don't have many trains, but we have plenty of planes on the defense. It might help for if you're trying to flip for blues or want to add some blues in your deck or whatever, for like Inferno or something like that, or Grapple, doubtful. But do 2 damage to each enemy car on the battlefield. So it's a very strong damage card that will damage cars only. So it is kind of strong. I did not make it a star card, but I made it a rare because it is only going to specifically damage active car traits 2 damage. So there's that. Up next is Stolen Cog. Helping my friend Kevin. He was doing a lot of Metroplex stuff that he was wanting me to do. So thinking of that in mind, we got to talking, and we were talking about the time when they stole Metroplex's Cog. And I got to thinking this would be a really good card. And I made it an action card. Again, it's also another rare. Daggone people, they're just flying through here. Just going wherever they want. It's like Walmart parking lot has become like flying in the sky. If you fly in the sky, you have to keep a constant 360 wits about you, and that's what it is like right here. Anyway, Stolen Cog. It's a black and blue pip card. The blue is for Titans only on the flip, so it has Metroplex in mind or other Titans in mind. Yeah, I got a haircut. It is a secret card. It is a rare on the reveal, and we really like this. I think this is going to work. When your opponent draws, reveal when your opponent draws for turn. So it's not just when they draw, or this is going to get triggered at the wrong time. It's when they draw for turn. When revealed, your opponent cannot flip for turn. So even if you're playing with a player who doesn't like flipping, that's what I did. I changed the radio station on the radio. Oops. Anyway, that's what that noise was. So you're gonna, they can still use an escape route. They can still use a rapid conversion. They can still flip a character. But if they're expecting to flip twice for turn, or even flip once at all for turn to get an ability knocked off, this is going to prevent that. If they are playing with a Metroplex and you're playing with a Trypticon, well, Trypticon is still a Titan, right? So he's still going to be able to get that blue flip for defense. In the meantime, if your opponent is playing Metroplex, it's going to prevent them flipping for turn, because Metroplex, every time you flip from I think bot mode to alt mode, you can deploy a character from underneath, and that's going to help prevent that. In the meantime, yeah, some people complain, Trypticon, you get the cards back from battle, you can play and deploy when you kind of want to, as long as you got the cards in hand. So there is that. And is it going to be good for other decks? Absolutely. If you're playing with someone that has a lot of flipping triggers and they're trying to flip for turn, it will prevent that. At least the flip for turn. Like I said, it's not going to stop escape routes or showing off or rapid conversion. So there's that. Forced escape is another one that I came up with, and last year actually. It's a picture of Jetfire after they got into the depths of Cybertron and they were fleeing Shockwave. I think the Autobots went in to rescue, I think it was the Cybertronium episode, but don't quote me on that. They were going in and rescuing Carly and Spike, if I remember correctly. That's where that picture comes from. And I think Braun blew open the door, or Jetfire did, and he just flew out and took him out. It's kind of a strong card, so I made this rare. I might need to tweak the wording a little bit on this, but it's going to help your leaders. And its star counts are not an issue here. Untap a tapped leader with only 4 or less health left. So that is key. They have to have less than 4 health left. So if you have a leader character with only 1 health, 2 health, I've seen it happen. Maybe not with the leader, but with characters in play, it's come down to having 1 health left. And you play this, you can get them out of harm's way and untap them for an extra turn or to use someone else, depending where you are in the game. Little bit of a strong card, but it does have some pretty heavy stipulations on it. So it is a blank card. It is a rare card. And I'm not getting any cold air out of this thing. Well, it kind of. Anyway, so there's that. As someone else just flies by in disregard to the lines of the parking lot. Okay, let's get into some upgrades here. Cog Warfare. And original, I did do this one myself, and I did put it out on Facebook, and I completely embarrassed myself because I had misspelled Warfare and Metroplex really bad. Talk about a typo. And I'm like, oh crap, I gotta fix that. It's like, thank you guys. But it is a white blue pip card to help with Metroplex. It's a uncommon utility that gives +1 to attack for anybody that actually wants to use this. So it's a utility that gives attack, which is good. So it's going to go in cooperation with your weapon upgrades, or etc. etc. But when this is on Metroplex, it gives him +1 to defense. So when it's on Metroplex, and this is the kind of deck you'd probably want to put that in with, it's going to give him +1 to attack and +1 to defense. So that's Cog Warfare. I put a Teletran card on here, but it was mine, where I don't have it verbatim, but when it's equipped on a character, it has bold equal to the amount of characters that are in your opponent's battlefield. And I used a picture of Teletran, and that was my Teletran one. Well, my friend made one called Teletran 1 that is actually also a utility that gives focus 1, if I remember correctly. So you've seen my Teletran before. It was like just before Christmas. I was making all these communication type utility cards. There's that. And his just gives focus 1, if I remember correctly. And I want to say maybe his Teletran also had an orange pip that gave +1 to defense. I can't remember. But I'm going to find it, and I'm going to add it up here too. Protect the big guy. I was thinking big bot because I like Beast Wars. He's not a big Beast War fan. So I changed it to protect the big guy. Because again, here we are focusing on Metroplex. It is a 2 white pip card. Now, that funny thing is that he had already made the big guns. I feel like I'm missing a card here. He made a couple. Nobody. And they're just still going right through the parking lot. I rarely do that myself. Anyway, I'm sorry, I'm getting distracted by planes flying through the parking lot in Alabama. Nobody wants to go by the rules, and maybe one day soon rules may not even be enforced except for by civilians. Citizens arrest! Citizens arrest! Boom! So there's that. We'll see what happens. Protect the big guy. And he was making some Metroplex upgrades, and I got to thinking, and he made 2. He made the big guns, and he made another one. I feel like I'm missing one. I know I'm missing one. And anyway, and I was thinking that night, we need one that actually shows, that has 2 white pips. I rarely see 2 white pips. Of course, the whole point of a white pip is all you need is 1, and you can flip 2 more. Well, in Metroplex's case, he's needing to pull off one of his stronger moves is to have 2 whites, 2 blues, and 2 oranges, right? So, and that was before green and black pips were really brought into the game. I think we really need something like that. So I was even thinking about we must have been thinking about this at the same time, which I find kind of funny. So the next day, I get a messenger, a text, pop up, whatever from him, wanting protect the big guy with 2 white pips, and I just thought that was hilarious. I made it an uncommon, since it is a double pip card. While equipped. And this, I'm not saying this verbatim, but when it's equipped on 6-gun, Scamper, or Slammer, it's going to give Metroplex +1 to defense. The card itself is an armor that gives +1 to defense. So it's in one of them, and Metroplex is in play, Metroplex is going to get an extra 1 to defense when it's on one of the 3. So it's going to give them +1. It's going to give Metroplex +1. But it does not stack. You're not going to be able to give... And I tried to say, hey, let's just make it stack, because Pierce can still get through Defense 3. You know? Pierce. He doesn't like Pierce. He uses Pierce. He's defeated me by Pierce. So, you know, Pierce is what Pierce does. So there's that. Gosh, I sound like Forrest Gump. I am in Alabama. Life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what battle card you're going to get. Life is like a booster set. So let's... So there's Protect the Big Guy. And then he also did Big Guns. Big Guns is, again, a weapon card. Also another one for Metroplex. And it's a blue pip card. I made it a rare because it seems kind of strong. No star card because it's going to come off when, and again, I don't have this all verbatim because I kind of have it in shorthand here, and you'll see it beside me here. When the equipped character battles in blue, white, and orange aren't flipped, scrap the card after battle. So it's kind of like Crystal of Power in a way. It's going to give Big Guns is going to give +3 to attack and +1 to defense. Be great for a Metroplex deck because that's who it's kind of made for. I guess anyone else could too use it also. So we have a Protect the Big Guy with 2 white pips, Big Guns with blue pip, and Stolen Cog, I think, was sort of in line with that too, with a black and blue pip. Cog Warfare with white and blue. So in Cog Warfare is the one that I made also with in mind of a Metroplex deck. If you really want to play Metroplex. The last card is Canon Blast. And some of these we've already kind of shown on Facebook or revealed on Facebook. Canon Blast is a lot like, it's kind of the antithesis or opposite of, say, Attack Drone. I think it's Attack Drones. But Canon Blast has a black pip, and it's only a black pip. No green, you can't get it back. But you can, you know, pile them up in your hand and play them all at once because it's a card, it's an upgrade that gives Pierce 1. It gives Pierce on the flip. And when you play this on a character, you can play another Canon Blast. Up to 3 Canon Blasts can go on one character. And they also give +1 to attack for characters. So you can have up to attack of 3 and Pierce of 3 on any given character with Canon Blast. Now, I was playing this in with a deck, and it was okay, but then, you know, which is an okay, neat kind of idea, especially if you're wanting more black pip cards in your deck. But then Fusion Bore is about the same thing. But then that's only one card. It is just as strong, and you can get 3 of those in your deck. So I guess it all depends on how you want to do that. You know, why have Canon Blast when you can have Fusion Bores? I can't remember the pip color for Fusion Bore right off. I'll try to put that up here too if I get the chance. And that Canon Blast is also an uncommon. But it's a neat way to do that, especially if, you know, maybe we should add a green pip on this too, to fall in line with Attack Drones and some of the others that are like that, and Focus Fires, Optimus Prime, and Focus Fires, etc., to where, you know, you have 3 in your hand. That would be something good with the 2 characters that are mostly played with Tidal Wave, because you're wanting a lot of other green pip cards in there as well. So maybe we should make this, add a green pip to it. Right now it doesn't have that. So we just went over Zone Defense, Stolen Cog, Forced Escape, Cog Warfare, two Teletran 1 cards actually. One by me, one by my friend Kevin. Protect the big guy, big guns, and Canon Blast. So that, wow, 20 minutes. We went over about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 cards. So that's all I got right now. We'll see you next time. And as always, like I said, game ain't dead, guys. The game is not dead. Have a great day. Have a blessed day. We'll see you next time. And always remember, Autobots, flip out and let's roll. Hello, I'm going to tack this on to the end. I found the card. I was editing my video and that I did in the car about all the cards I was talking about. The one that was left was Metroplex Enraged, which again is another Kevin card. That is an upgrade weapon that is white and orange. You think he's wanting to really make Metroplex even stronger. That can only go on Metroplex, and it gives him bold 3. So yeah, there's that. Oh, sorry for the light. I probably should have turned that off. But there's Metroplex Enraged, and on, so that's that. We went over Stolen Cog, Big Guns, Extra Measures, Cog Warfare. I also have another one called Grand Finale, but it's actually for an Omega Supreme. It's a star card that's a utility that has a picture of the hand of Omega Supreme from the end of season 1 from the new Netflix show. It's also, and I did this myself earlier this year. I've got it in this same kind of setup here. So you're going to see B and A there, but this is me. This wasn't him. Orange, white and orange pit. When you put this on an Omega Supreme, your opponent scraps all equipped upgrades. And then it's got the reminder there for a star card. Your team and deck can only have 25 stars total. So, Grand Finale, it's basically, anytime, if you put this on Omega Supreme, I guess any of them. I know we got 2 official ones. We might have a 3rd unofficial. That, when you put this on, you put this on, this utility on Omega, your opponent has to scrap all the upgrades on their team. Of course, they can try to get them back best they can, but pretty strong card. That's why I made it a star card. It does give +1 to attack and +1 to defense. Since we're tagging something on the end of this, let me go straight to my Beast War set. Let's actually look at Silverbolt super quick. Let's see here. His bot mode. We go back to Silverbolt from Beast Wars. He is a 7-star character that's plain beast in melee and alt mode. Helicopter ranged and melee in bot mode because he could still fly in bot mode. So I gave him the helicopter trait, if you remember that. Well, I gave him an honor thing to where if you don't play an attack, if you don't play an action or upgrade or a card or whatever, then that would give him a boost on his defensive side. Well, you had to have a mark, you had to keep up with it. Well, I decided, and even playing around with the character a little bit myself, I'm thinking, boy, this is easy to forget. I don't know, because I'm having to be able to remember that he's going to get a defense on this, and even then, if I'm playing the other character or someone else, I'm up against a real life person, which is rare. Then they would realize, oh well, his Silverbolt has honor, and his Silverbolt has 3 health. 3 defense because of that. Well, I don't have to go into Silverbolt. Especially if there's other characters there in play. And he is a low star character with only 7 stars. So you're bound to have others, easily 3 or 4 wide team with Silverbolt, etc. So we changed it up. I still call it honor because something still can't be played. But the new trigger is how this reads. When this defends, and a secret action was not played by your opponent. This gets +2 to defense for battle, not on your opponent's first turn. So that means if you go first, and now you're defending and your opponent gets to go next, that's the second turn of the game, but it's their first turn. This cannot be triggered. It's still one of the first 2 turns of the game. So whether it's your first turn or their first turn, of course, this is a defending move. So then after that, if they don't have secret actions in their hand or many, and they don't play a secret action, well then Silverbolt has 3 to defense. Of course, near the end of the game, or mid to end game, you're going to have a lot of attack. You're probably going to have a lot of pierce. I'm trying to block the light, sorry, etc., etc. So that way, it's not going to matter much by that point of the game anyway. But still, if your opponent doesn't play a secret action and you have Brave on Silverbolt, that's a possibility. I think I remember talking about maybe putting Brave on Silverbolt for in this mode, and I haven't done that, and I'm not going to do that. That would be the smart thing to do, but for a 7-star character, I don't want to have that much going on with him. I don't like characters that are just too busy. So, and that's another reason why I'm quasi against the zone cards, because they seem a bit busy. It's almost like it's bringing magic to Transformers. That's why I made the battlefield cards, to make a location card that wasn't so much Pokemon, but something that was not location card, that was called battlefield, that could still be in the deck, I guess, sort of like Pokemon in a sense, but bringing things to an easier level. Yes, they're powerful, but I may end up going through all of them, and I've got to make a purge. I got to delete stuff off my phone. I got to delete stuff off my computer. I almost can't stand this anymore. So we'll see what happens. In the meantime, I had that, wanted to let you know about the Metroplex Enraged, the grand finale, and the correction to Silverbolt. We'll see you next time. As always, Autobots, flip out and let's roll for it.